be they firearms. And those weapons of words have shaped our history. They started wars, they ended wars. Prophets that came along and changed the course of history all used nothing but their words. So if words have that much power embedded within them, can you imagine if we were to take those words and use them for the benefit of other human beings, changing in our small little circle and therefore changing in our world? It's so easy for us to throw comments that we call jokes about other people. Oh, you're so short. Oh, I'm so short. Oh, look at my cheeks, they're so big. And we throw these words and we don't realize that these small offenses that we pretend are jokes are actually embedding within us the idea that we are lacking, that we are less. And that if we change those words that we use on a daily basis in inside conversations with ourselves about ourselves or with outside conversations with other people, if we were to change those words and turn them into compliments, then we would be shaping ourselves into stronger human beings and shaping the people around us into better, happier human beings. When was the last time you said a kind word to yourself? When was the last time you mentioned something good about yourself to yourself? Instead of always saying, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I need to do this. And always that inner conversation is so negative. When was the last time you gave yourself a compliment? When was the last time you gave someone else a compliment? Compliments and words, they help build people. They build our confidence in a world right now dominated by social media, dominated by marketing that makes us think that we are lacking so that we purchase things to make ourselves better. We can fight all of that just with the simple art and power of a compliment. So I urge every single one of you to take the time to compliment yourself and to compliment the people around you. Spread that positive vibe, spread that feeling of giving compliments and the idea that compliments should be a regular part of our lives. And together,
Is it me or did we lose our president?
I think we did. I think
lost the internet. I think we lost. No, she's back.
okay, you did lose me. Where did you lose me at?
The last bit, the important things, we lost you.
Damn it. All right, we'll go back. It's all good. Okay, I don't remember what I was saying. I was talking about compliments. Yes. So if we can all use the power of compliments and use it in our own lives and in the lives of people around us, if we can change all our internal dialogue and our external dialogue to compliments and positive things, then those words that
Unfortunately, again, we are losing Madam President. So just give us a second while she reconnect. Toastmaster Mariam, we lost you again for a while. Okay. So I think we just
okay, we're just gonna end my presidential address by saying that years ago, one man, Dr. Ralph C. Smedley, across the world had the idea to use the power of words and communication for the better, and he worked on it and spread it around, and that one man managed to change the entire world with more than 140 countries, more than 17,000 clubs all over the world, using the power of their words and the power of communication. And this is what Toastmasters is all about. And before I get cut off again, let us introduce our Toastmaster of the day to take charge of the ship. Our Toastmaster of the day, I shall go ahead and give you a compliment. Toastmaster Ra'ya Adel, you are one of the strongest people that I know. Your story and everything that you do is so inspirational. You are strong and powerful, and we as a club are very proud of you. Toastmaster Ra'ya Adel.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, everyone. The power of compliments. I'm proud of you. Your hard work pays off. You did it. You are the best. You're always on podium, and you are the champion. These were the compliments that I received yesterday after my race. And I placed the second female overall. Did you ever work forward a certain goal and someone stop you and give you a compliment? A compliment goes a long way. Do you remember the initial feeling you got, that warm feeling of gratitude? That person could have walked away, but they didn't. They took the time out of their day to make you feel better. That compliment gives you hope, joy, and also positivity. There are times in your life that you need compliments. I understand. It's really hard to not getting recognition from someone or for your accomplishment. Sometimes you feel nobody notices your success. I'm here to tell you that not the case. Some people tend to keep things to themselves, and you have people, they always say no matter what is it, the circumstance. Most of the time, good compliment comes from family, friends, but the best feeling when it comes from a complete stranger. So, our club was formed in 2014 by 4 gentlemen who most probably were the best of the best. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, our club was formed by DTM Khurram Salman, DTM Najim Razak, DTM Jahangir Khan, and Toastmaster Rashid Butt. Why giving compliments is so important, and what is the best compliment you have ever received? These are the questions that I asked to our today's role players and today's grammarian, Toastmaster Suhail Sheikh, who say that compliments help people to achieve their achievements. And a monk who spreads positivity is the best compliment he has ever received. Please welcome our grammarian for this evening, Toastmaster Suhail Sheikh.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a grammarian, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, saying, or thoughts. As a grammarian, it's also my duty to introduce the word of the day. And the word of the day is gigantic, which means huge or very great in size. The example of the usage of this word is he has a gigantic appetite and eats gigantic meals. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Welcome back, Toastmaster Suhail, and thank you. You are great. Our counter states that compliments can have positive and motivating impact on someone. He works in DHL. Please welcome Toastmaster Ali Septain to present his role as the counter.
Very much, Toastmaster of the Day. Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm good afternoon or good evening, however you like to take it. Excuse me for today because I'm not feeling that well, so I'm just going to be taking this meeting from my bed. And allow me to introduce my role for today. I'll be doing the counter, which means I'll be looking after all those unnecessary jargons, ahs, ums, the word fillers, pauses, or repeated words that are not necessarily required. I'll be noting them down, and by the end of the meeting, when called upon by the general evaluator, I'll be presenting my report. So, ladies and gentlemen, make my life easier. I'm not feeling well, so thank you very much, and back to you.
Thank you, the Toastmaster Ali Subtain. I hope you get well soon. And I have a compliment for you. You have an amazing hair. Our time is money because it's valuable, and especially when we receive good compliments from a stranger. Our timer said that compliments help in spreading good vibes and motivating other people. Thank you is the best compliment that he has ever had. Please join me in welcoming our timer, who will keep the track on the meeting, Toastmaster Ahmed Haji.
Thank you,
Toastmaster.
Toastmaster of the day. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters. As timer, I will time the table topics, speakers, formal speeches, and evaluations. I will alert each speaker when about the time they have left using the green.
I think there's a connection problem.
Looks like the Haji siblings are facing difficulties.
Yes, I think. So shall I proceed? Yeah, I believe. Ahmed?
Although, funnily enough, we're not in the same place, but we both have internet connection.
This is
Excuse me for that.
Yeah,
Connectivity issues. For those connectivity issues. It's fine. Where was the last time I got lost? That's fine. I'll go start over from the beginning. Great, thank you, Toastmaster of the day. As timer, I will just be timing the evaluations, table topic speakers, and formal speeches. I'll also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and red cards, and I'll inform the speeches of their timing criteria. For the table topic speeches, it should be no more than 2 minutes. So at 1 minute, I will raise the green card, this one, and at 1 minute 30 seconds, I'll raise the yellow card, and by 2 minutes, I will raise the red card. And for the speeches, the timing criteria will be 5 to 7 minutes. So as I believe I've been informed, and at 5 minutes, I will raise the green card as shown earlier. And at 6 minutes, I'll raise the yellow. And at 7, I'll raise the red. The individual evaluations should be between 2 to 3 minutes. So at 2 minutes, I'll raise the green card. At 2.5 minutes, I'll raise the yellow. And at 3, I will raise the red. And I believe all the speeches have a 30-minute grace period, 30-second grace period. So I will give them up to 3 minutes, 30 seconds, and so on for each one. And I will present my report when called upon by the general evaluator. And thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ahmed. And today we have a guest who will evaluate our meeting. She is a Toastmaster since 2 years. She is a student and a part-time trainer. She's an amazing, enthusiastic learner. Please welcome our general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Sana Yusuf.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roya. I'm sorry. I'll be your general evaluator for today, and as a general evaluator, it is my role to just sit back in the background and evaluate the rest of you. I'm going to be judging you to the finest detail. I'll be paying close attention to how well the meeting flows from one segment to another, commenting on the things that you've done amazingly well as a club, and even giving recommendations when needed. And I'll be presenting my report when we get to the evaluation segment. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, our general evaluator. Our today's meeting is divided into two sessions. The one in which we are going to listen to prepared speeches by our amazing members. And the other one is the one in which we are going to have fun and listen to the feedbacks. Just as a reminder to my fellow Toastmasters, you will be given a 30 seconds period in which you are supposed to comment on the speaker speeches in the chat. Please make sure that you do. So let's begin with the prepared speeches of the evening. Our first speaker, Toastmaster Thuraya Jum'a, will be presenting her first speech from Project 2 and presenting Mastery Path. She said that giving compliments show the appreciation of others' work and effort. You have a nice smile, her best compliment she has ever had. Before that, let us have her individual evaluator to read out the objectives. Please welcome our first evaluator, who is a guest Toastmaster, Ceci.
Good evening once again, and the purpose of this speech is the member to present a speech on any topic and receive feedback and apply that feedback to a second speech. The purpose of this speech is for a member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ceci. You're amazing. So, Toastmaster Thuraya Jum'a with a speech title, Stop Looking at the Wall, Look Out the Window. Stop looking at the wall, look at the window. Toastmaster Thuraya Jum'a.
Just I have one correction, Master of Ceremonies. The speech, I changed it only to look out of the window. So the speech title, and for the evaluator, the speech title is Look Out of the Window.
Okay, so look out of the window. Look out of the window, DTM Thuraya Jum'a.
So I need to put this as well. So is I am clear, visible, and you can hear me very well?
Yes, you are.
So, dear Toastmasters, how many of you actually look outside the window? Can you just put a sign on your screen? And if you look outside, what do you see? Do you see people walking or you see car rushing? Master of Ceremonies, fellow Toastmaster, and honorable guest. Me, I rarely paid attention to my home window. Why? Because I'm like everyone. We used to wake up in the morning, rushing to work, then come back from work in the evening. And there is no time to look outside the window from our rooms. Then what about work? I have a big window at work, but still my window is overlook car park. So when I look, all what I see is lines of cars. I look sometimes if I am searching for my friend, one of my colleagues or friends, if I want to see his or her cars there to check on them. So that's what I used to do. However, since last year, after we all hit with COVID-19 and we have to shift to sitting in front of our computer and do work from here, which I'm still doing. So I have my desk in front of me. I'm staring at the computer all the time. One thing changed this equation, that my window is on my left-hand side. So while I will be sitting, when there is a break, I will just overlook. One day, I was, as usual, after finishing my first class, ready for the second class, I heard noises. So I looked and I saw that small bird was shivering, and I jumped. I went there and I looked out of the window. He looks tired, thirsty, so I rushed and I brought him water. But as you're aware, once I opened the window, he flies. But I put the water there and I forgot about it till next day. For my astonishment, next day there was another bird and then another bird. As if the birds actually is telling each other, go there, there is a water. And I kept changing the water, especially, you know, the weather here in the Gulf, especially in the summer, the temperature rose to 50. So these animals, same as us, they cannot live without having our support. So that's what I used to do. And looking out of the window changed a lot of me. The Canadian writer, Mappes Galway, said, a short story is what we see when we look out of the window. So let me share with you 3 stories I learned by just looking out of the window and from putting this small cup to support these birds. The first one is, let us all support all the animals, the human being on this earth by doing a small gesture. So the small things I did, it just putting the water, it does not cost anything, but doing that small things. You will be amazed if I will share with you the type of birds which I came close to by standing in front of the window and looking at them. Every day I will see a new bird. I will see the Bahraini bulbul, which is difficult to see these days, but they were there in front of my window. So fellow Toastmaster, I encourage you, don't hesitate to do small things because you don't know how that will return to you. The second story I want to share with you is the curiosity killed the cat, or maybe it was about to kill the cat. So again, and it was, by the way, during our meeting, during this meeting, it was last September. I was enjoying the meeting, learning from everyone. Then suddenly I heard the noise. So I turned to my window, and for my surprise, there was this cat. I don't know how she reached my window. I have been living in this place for 15 years, and I never noticed a cat in my window. But she climbed. You know why? Because she saw the bird is coming. So her curiosity to find what is going on and pushed her to climb the thin branches of the tree. And she reached the window. But the difficulty she faced, because that was her first time to climb, I think, to the window, that she didn't know what to do and how to go down. And the space of my window is very small. And for my astonishment, for the first time, to see this fear, and I saw this fear in her eyes that pushed me, that I stopped, by the way, the meeting, and I went, asked my nephew to actually to come and rescue this cat and take her down. Do you think that she stopped? No, fellow Toastmaster, because after that, she knew her way, so she knew how to climb and come to here just to relax and to knock on my window. The third story I learned from my small window at home is the mother's love. As I said to you, lots of visitors I used to have after that glass of water. One day I saw these 2 little pigeons, they were standing there. And of course, as the first one, I couldn't open it because they were run and they were young. So I kept watching them. But I noticed that their mother is coming with the food for them. And she started feeding them. Fellow Toastmasters, friend, this is my first time to see how a pigeon mother actually feeding her kids. And what an amazing thing. That experience made me think of my mother. And now I encourage all of you to think of your mother. how hard they work for us to support us. So this pigeon, she will go and bring food to feed her kids. And I went and said to my mother, thank you. And I encourage all of you to say thank you to your mother. Fellow Toastmasters, life is full of small things. So let us enjoy small things. And don't forget to look out of your window because you never know what short story you can write. Back to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, Mama Best. And I want you to tell you, don't forget to look at the mirror because your smile is amazing. Can we have 30 minutes grace periods for the speaker?
If the MC allow me, I just will share a few photos for members to see the bird so that they look out of the window. So if you allow me quickly, I will share the photo. I don't know if you can see it. So this is one bird. This is my first time to see it. This is the, let me see, this is the bulbul actually. And they come and knock on the door. This is, they call it Malaysian bulbul because it is similar to Bahraini, but it is different. It has red at his tail. And of course, this is the bird. I love his symmetry. This was amazing when I saw the butterfly next to my window. And finally, this is the pigeon with the kids. And this is the cat which lost its ways and was almost losing its life because she was curious to find things. Thank you for giving me the time.
Thank you, DTM Thuraya Juma. Our second speaker, Toastmaster Mahmoud Al-Mardi, will be presenting his second speech from Project 2 and Leadership Development Path. He said that compliments are important to give to make people happy and can improve their behaviors. You always see the bright side of things. This is the best compliment he has ever had. Before that, please welcome our second evaluator who says that compliments help lift people and boost their confidence. Your soul shines when you speak. Is the best compliment she has ever had. Toastmaster Mariam Haji.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raya. My speaker for today, Toastmaster Mahmoud, will be presenting his second speech of his project. So basically the purpose of the project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply it to a second speech. So he has already received his feedback. He will be applying it to his speech today, and we will be comparing and seeing what much he learned from his previous feedback. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Raya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mariam. You really shine when you speak. Toastmaster Mahmoud, with a speech title, The Beauty of Humanity. Sorry, Humanity. Toastmaster Mahmoud.
Thank you. I just want to say, am I audible? What a good time to be alive. We do live in a blessed society, a society filled with prosperity and positive people. And it says the least for our club. From Toastmaster Johnny Gear, helping each and every person out when they needed it, to Toastmaster Kharam Salman, giving us exceptional speeches day in, day out for the benefit of our knowledge, to Toastmaster Kamal, giving us humorous speeches day in, day out to put a smile on our faces. And last but not least, Dr. Thuraya, being the mother of Toastmaster and Best. For that is why we call you the mother of Best. As for everyone else, Words can't express my gratitude and my humbleness as I see each and every one of you on the stage. For that, I salute you. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, good evening. Well, let me ask you a question. How many of us do these great deeds but fall into the same traps? As a person who stands 6.283 meters tall and has a full-grown beard, I fell into the same trap. I was the type of person who loved giving compliments, a person who loved prosperity, who loved so much positivity and loved humbleness and positive people all around. As soon as I entered my high school years, I started to lose that. I started to become jealous and started to become that toxic person. And that really ruined 10 years of my life. As I thought that was something that was normal to me. Ever since I walked and left and finished and went through my years in university and school, I started to lose people out and I didn't even notice it. That is where one day struck me. It has changed my entire life. February 20th, 2020 was the day I lost a precious person in my life. I still remember that day. I got a phone call, 10 p.m. by my mother saying that your aunt passed away in the hospital. I closed down the phone and went into tears. The second day, looking at her body as people cried, people in tears. And as soon as they wrapped her body with cloth and walked to the graveyard, that is where people said their last goodbyes. My aunt was someone exceptional, a person who spread so much kindness and positivity everywhere. She was the person who would put a smile on her face, no matter the circumstances. A person who even though we had bad days, would still come with positivity and prosperity, which really changed me and really ignited me and changed me as a person from that day on. Till this day, she is remarked as one of the best people that my family and people has ever witnessed in Bahrain. And to this day, she is remembered truthfully. And as they would say in Arabic, she is imra'a b'alf kalma, which translates to in English, a woman with 1,000 words. I realized that kindness can either go two ways. You can either be a person who demands kindness and receives it and gives it, but expects something in return, or rather be a person who spreads kindness and increase it and further develop it and try to change the world. This is the beauty of humanity. Changing people and putting a smile on our face and making this world a better place to live in, rather than going and simply asking for any compliment whatsoever. We've lived in a day and age where kindness requires 0 dinars. It's a gesture that requires nothing at all, rather than a smile on your face and a good compliment. A person who you talk to and change their day changes their lives. As I walked through my house, I put a smile on my face every time I see people, which changed their lives. And I've seen it day in and day out. So fellow Toastmasters and guests, kindness is a gesture that should be portrayed by everyone and is portrayed by anyone. It's either two ways. Either you want to spread that kindness and build positivity Or rather, do you want to go and do stuff, or in other cases, get compliments day in, day out? And if you leave this world, you are either faced with two choices. Either you walk out as a villain, or you walk out as a hero. The choice is yours. Back to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mahmoud. You have that positivity. Please, let's have 30 seconds period to fill out or to comment for the speaker. Toastmaster Mahmoud, can you mute yourself? So let's have our third speaker is DTM Khurram Salman will be presenting his first project from level 2 in dynamic leadership path. He said that compliments are absolutely important, in fact, when you travel, and that makes his day when he travels. His best compliment that he has ever had is, "I am doing this because of you." Before he starts, let's have his individual evaluator to read out the objectives of his speech. Please welcome our third evaluator, who is a guest from Kuwait. He is a distinguished Toastmaster who currently is a head of education for D20 Speakers Board. DTM Alan Paul.
Thank you for that warm introduction, Toastmaster Roya. Yes, my target speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Khurram Salman, is embarking on his Level 2, Project 2, that is Understand Your Leadership Style. The purpose of this project is for the member to identify his leadership style and for the member to share some aspect of his primary leadership style and discuss leadership styles in general. His speech title is The Charge, which is for 5 to 7 minutes. And I wish him the best. Back to you, Toastmaster Royal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alan Paul. DTM Khurram Salman with a speech title, The Charge. The Charge, DTM Khurram Salman.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. Before we begin the time, am I audible, visible, all well?
You are.
Perfect.
You are.
We are either being led or leading since the day we are born. We lead our parents when we are hungry and for what follows after. And they lead us in pretty much everything else. Some would say that this makes leadership a part of our human essence since the beginning. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Growing up, I was fortunate enough to be surrounded by leadership all around. My mother and father both displayed strong, though opposing, leadership styles. My dad was the affiliative, coach, chill kind of a leader, whereas my mom was the authoritative, innovative, yet altruistic kind of a leader. This led me into the world of leadership at a pretty young age. I was 9 years old when I got enrolled in a program called the Youth Leadership Program. That was the start of my journey in the world of Toastmasters. Even though I joined that program because my brother was being a part of it and I, being the good follower that I am, couldn't be left behind. But that marked the long yet and long still journey of leadership. Through various aspects that introduced me to, and combined with 5 years of corporate world experience, I came across and started to recognize various leadership styles. I learned some, adopted some, studied some, and lost some. And today, we're going to be talking about 3 leadership styles that, according to Toastmasters, I tend to adopt more. We're going to talk about Khurram, the affiliative coach, Khurram, the democratic authoritative, and Khurram, the innovative altruist. Khurram, the affiliative coach, is a visionary and values teamwork above all else. He believes that as long as there's harmony within the team, wonders can be achieved. He avoids direct conflict and negative feedback, which at times has done him more harm than good, but it's the end result that he focuses on. He sees his team, recognizes their potential, and challenges them to achieve a higher self while being there for them. His main aim as the affiliative coach is to have a positive morale throughout where the team's emotional needs are met. The example of this is this club, because as a founding president, he was able to challenge the team and coach them for being the President Distinguished Club within 3 months of being chartered April, May, June, and repeating it the year after. Khurram, the democratic authoritative, who believes that all the voices on the team matter, especially the ones which are not often heard. He believes that effective communication is the key to great many things, but he also realizes that a leader's responsibility of his people and goals ultimately falls on his shoulders, and that influences his decisions. He sets standards, admittedly often a bit too high, but commits to the long game. The example of this is the physical district council meeting, which is a rarity these days, held back in 2019, where some of those who are here in the meeting were in attendance. That meeting was one of the least controversial, most productive, time-bound for a district council, where everybody's voices were heard. And he was able to achieve that by being democratic, yet authoritative. Then comes Khurram, the innovative altruist, who pursues excellence with a vision. He knows that innovation and thinking out of the box sets you and your team apart. He empowers the team and does not breathe down their necks because he realizes that that is the trait of a successful leader. He wants to leave a legacy, a benchmark for all those to follow. And he firmly believes that a leader is at the top of the pyramid by serving others. He invites all his members to think empathetically, but be committed to the vision. The example of this is how he led District 20 to be one of the top 10 districts in the world by setting a vision, inviting all his members to think innovatively as to how to get there, and empowering them empathetically while they were doing so. And that is what happened. Ladies and gentlemen, throughout your lives and your leadership journeys, you will come across so many leaders with so many different styles and traits. Some with egos as gigantic as Burj Khalifa, and some with humbleness that will put the earth to shame because they're so down to earth. But throughout the various stages, some desirable traits, some not so much, different approaches to leadership, one thing that I have firmly come to believe is that leadership is not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge. For you see, if you are democratic yet authoritative in your approach with your members, you personalize your approaches to your members, you're affiliated with them, you are coaching them, you are democratic with them yet authoritative, and you're taking care of your people with these traits, the goals and everything else that follows will take care of themselves. As Simon Sinek, a world-leading authority on best-selling books on various leadership, says, be the leader you wished you had. Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you. I should tell you again, I got into this and I'm doing this because of you, Toastmaster or DTM Khurram Salman. So I just want to ask if we are going to have a break or shall I proceed? DTM Thuraya or Madam President?
Yeah, Madam President, since you are here, what do you think? Fellow member?
I believe just like maybe 2 or 3 minutes because we're running a bit late. Yeah.
Okay. So timer, please note 2 to 3 minutes, the break.
Okay.
Roya, did you run a race already in 3 minutes, or there's did you get a race in between?
Today I'm the MC, I couldn't do anything. Every minute counts in my schedule. Yesterday I had a race.
Mashallah.
It's the end of the season, so last race of this the season till August.
August, but isn't it too hot in August?
Now it's too hot. August is gonna be a little bit better for us.
3 minutes are up, guys.
Okay. So, shall I start? Okay. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you all are refreshed and ready for the second part of the meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, so now it's the time for the table topic session. It's the session where members can practice their thinking and speaking on their feet skills. This session is also known as the impromptu speech session. And to provide us with the challenge for today's table topic session, we have Toastmaster Ron, who said that compliments, it's good for both the giver and the receiver. For the receiver, they will feel appreciated, and for the giver is to recognize the other's ability. Please join me in welcoming the table topic master, Toastmaster Rohan.
Thank you very much for that, TM Roya. I'm looking forward to hearing from everyone as we have today's theme, which is power of compliments. And so I've chosen a few topics which are in line with the theme. And I will be looking for some volunteers so that we can get started with today's session. Would anybody like to volunteer for the first topic? I hope I don't have to. Ah, great. Great, Colin. Thanks for that. Let me give you the first topic, which is, I'm starting off with a fairly simple one, which is the best compliment you have received and your reaction to it. And I'm sure you will find ways to elaborate on that. Over to you, Colin. Yeah.
Thank you very much, our table topic master, for the first time, Toastmaster Rohan, for that wonderful topic. What is the best compliment I have received? Now, I am an individual that is notorious for being very, very bad with receiving compliments because I don't know how to react. When a person compliments me, I don't know whether to say, oh, you shouldn't have, or should I be more accepting, etc. However, in terms of reaction, I try to be more stoic when a person compliments me. Now, in terms of the best compliment I have received, I want to be imaginative and say that some people told me, Colin, how are you so cute? But that never happened. So that would be one aspect. But one of the best compliments I have received was back in college when one of the individuals where we had competed in inter-college fest had come up to me and mentioned, Colin, you're the most positive person I know, and I really want you to know that. And that really made my day back then. And I still do keep in touch with that individual. So that's been the highlight of, or highlight reel of my compliments. I'm still waiting, there's still time. I know there's a minute in as well for someone down the road to say, Colin, how are you so cute? But let's wait and watch. Over to you, our table topic master, Rohan.
Great job, Colin. That was something. That was a lot of fun to listen to. So, shall we go ahead with the next speaker? Would anyone like to volunteer? I'm hoping for some guests to do so as well. Sure. Thank you, Madam President. Let me go ahead and give you the next topic, which is one quality or aspect that you notice first when you meet somebody new. One aspect that you notice in a person you meet for the first time.
Okay. First thing you need to know about me is I'm a weirdo, okay? Growing up, I was a huge fan of detective shows, detective novels. I used to read Agatha Christie, Sherlock Holmes. So I was always obsessed with the art of observation. And from a very young age, I would challenge myself to pick apart a person's appearance and their habits and their facial expressions and look into their eyes and analyze their minds and their personalities just from their appearance. So I picked this up when I was a really young child, and until today, being a behavioral nutritionist, the first thing that I notice about a person is how they carry themselves. What do I mean by how they carry themselves? So if their shoulders are lifted, if their chest is pumped out or in, if their shoulders are down, the way they carry their chin, is it high up, is it low, is it level with the ground? Are they holding themselves stiffly? Are they very open? Are they constantly showing the palms of their hands? And I use all of these tiny gestures to analyze a person's personality and their character and get to know them better. So I realized that that's not the answer you would have expected, because normal humans would be like, oh, I noticed someone's eyes. Yeah, I noticed their personality through their appearance and their gestures and their posture and all of that. And honestly, it's a very useful skill that I kind of really enjoy. And I would like to say one thing before ending the speech. Colin, you are so cute. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you very much, Madam President. That was quite some trait that you looked into. I believe each one of us will be looking to improve on those aspects when dealing with you. All right, so yes, the next person. Do we have any volunteers, any of the guests? Would you like to come forward and say a few words?
I believe Sasi had raised his hand earlier.
Oh, yes, my bad. Mr. Sasi, your topic for today would be the best piece of constructive criticism that you've received. Since we're all about compliments today, there is the other half of that as well, which is criticism. And I would love to hear how you've taken your criticism that you've received, how you responded, the changes you've made.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Rohan. And the best constructive criticism that I have received is when I receive nothing. You know why? Because I felt that people are not really listening to me because I know I did something wrong. And when I didn't receive anything, I felt really bad. How can I change myself or improve myself if I don't hear anything from my listeners? And that's how I came to love critique or the art of evaluation. And so every time I become a guest as a G, as an evaluator, I always tell the people who are listening to me to please tell me what are the things I can improve on. Because I know, not because I have been in Toastmasters for so many years, I am already perfect. No, I do want to be in the God level type one day, but I know that is going to be really hard. And so we always say that critique or evaluation is the breakfast of champions. And I love my breakfast 24 hours a day. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much for that. It was great of you to come forward and share with that. So I believe we have time for one more. And do I have any volunteers? Great.
I'd like to volunteer.
I'd
like to volunteer.
I believe Mr. Allen beat you to it, Mahmood.
No, it's all right. Mahmood can go ahead.
Mahmood, what do you say? Would you want to give that chance to Mr. Allen?
Yeah, sure. Not a problem because he came.
No, it's all right.
I'm
he was evaluating, so you can go ahead.
Are you sure?
Yes, it's sure.
Thank you.
All right. So, Mahmood, my topic for you is one aspect of your life that you're currently working to improve upon. I hope that's clear. One aspect of your life that you're currently working to improve upon or hope to improve upon.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rohan. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, good evening. The one aspect, I have many aspects that I want to work on, such as my diet, such as my studies, such as my gestures. It goes on till tomorrow. But the one aspect that I'm currently working on is to further develop in my current field of study, which is quantity surveying. What I'm trying to do is go to internships and get more information from professionals from the field. Therefore, it can enhance in my knowledge, and therefore it can make me a better person in my field. That is why by doing this internship and learning from various people around the construction industry. This will undoubtedly make me a better person in a better quantity survey. Back to you.
All right, dear Mahmood. Thanks a lot for that. And with that, I believe we've come to an end to the table topic session. And I'd like to thank each and every one of y'all for stepping up and delivering great bits of speeches for all of us to enjoy. We had a great time. Thank you very much. And over to you, TM Roya. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rohan, for the interesting spread of topics. Dear friends, following the tradition of best, we are having Jahangir's favorite session, which he is missed today. Fun and learn activity session, where we tend to have fun, learn, and enjoy ourselves. To conduct this session, may I please invite Toastmaster Colin Noble, who say that compliments and feedbacks help lift people and improves individuals. Most positive person I have ever met is the best compliment he had ever received. Please welcome Toastmaster Colin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roya, for that warm introduction, and welcome, ladies, gentlemen, across the world and in Bahrain. The fun and learn session for today is going to be simple. It's going to be energetic. So I want to recommend all of you here to please switch on your videos so you can see everyone on the meeting. Yeah, so thanks for that. Okay, so keeping in mind with it, Julius Caesar, when he overcame Pompey, he said, Vini, vidi, vici. I came, I saw, I conquered. But you know what's very interesting about Julius Caesar? A compliment led to his death by his own friend. Have you ever come across an instant when you felt that someone was applying butter on bread when they were speaking to you? Have you ever come across that instance when you felt someone was putting a little too many sprinkles on your donut? Have you ever felt that the dessert you've been served by someone else had a little too much sugar? And if you're getting the picture here, have you felt that all the compliments you have received are genuine? So I'm going to ask each and every one of you, we're going to go through the room here today, a set of questions, and we'll go through the room and we'll try to get in some really fun and engaging sessions. So 30 seconds, I want you to answer, what is the funniest compliment you have ever received? What is the funniest compliment you have ever received? It's under 30 seconds. You can say one line and we'll move on to the next person. So I want you to take 10 seconds and then I'm gonna call on the person. The funniest compliment. It can be, it can be also you're the cutest person and maybe not. It could be you're tall, dark, and handsome, but maybe not the tall part. So either, so do think about it. And I'm gonna call up our first person, Alan Paul. DTM Alan Paul, what is the funniest compliment you have received? Go.
Don't know if this is appropriate, but my wife, when I first met her in school, she got scared of me and she fell down actually. And I asked her what happened. And she said, "You look like a rapist." So I was like, oh my God. But yeah, finally married her. This was the funniest compliment I got.
But it's not a compliment though.
Oh yeah, it is not a compliment.
Well, that was that. Thank you for being a sport, Alan, and he won the game, Mariam. So I think kudos to Alan for that. Up next, we have Dr. Thuraya, the funniest compliment you have received.
Well, I will add actually to Alan, and I would say it was not the nicest compliment. Someone said to me, Suraya, I said yes. And he said, why you don't smile?
True, true,
I was
true.
really, I said, what? And that's it. So I will not say a compliment, but something, someone is raw in your face, and you say, wow, that's a strong sentence. Word. So back to you.
Fair enough, fair enough. So some of the guests across the world then, our general evaluator, Sana, what is the funniest compliment you have ever received?
The funniest compliment that was not funny to me, but apparently was a compliment to everyone else. Somebody came up to me and said, "Oh my God, you're so short. It's so cute." And they expected me to say thank you. And I was just like, but do you have a continuation for this? Or is it just that? It's like, no, you're so cute. It's adorable. I am 5'2", and I would love to be taller, but apparently people around me think this is the cutest version of me that they love. So that I think is a funny compliment.
Can I
Fair
share
enough.
something?
Sure, go ahead, Roy. You're going in with the initiative.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
I just wanna like connect with the general evaluator. So when I go to somewhere and I see like a short guys, and I am 180 centimeters, and they are like, "You're too tall." You're like, "You're too tall," and they are expecting me to be sad or something. But I'm really happy with my my height, especially from the boys and the guys.
Very cool, Roya. Very cool, very cool. Remind us not to get into a race with you again. But next up, we have Toastmaster Suhail. He raised his hand. What is the funniest compliment you have received?
Thank you, DTM Colin. Actually, when I was new in Bahrain and I was invited in one of the party, and one of the very senior lady, she came to me and she said, "Oh, Suhail, mashallah, you look like a terrorist." So, so I was kind of like, I said, mashallah, and then terrorist. So I said, okay, it was like, the still like, back to you, DTM.
Sure, sure. So Sohail, great insight. Even my brother Roman got that a lot as well. So DTM Kurm Salman, what is the funniest compliment you have received? And I think hair is set as a good compliment, but what is the funniest compliment you have received?
I think I know.
So no, for me, it's usually they say, "Oh, you look way older than your brother," and I'm 4 years younger to him. That hurts my feelings. So they say, "Oh, you look older to your brother." Then they say it as a compliment. I'm like, no, I want to be younger. What is this? So yeah, that's usually what I go like, ha ha, okay, cool.
Fair enough, fair enough, Kurm. Fair enough. We have our gamer, Toastmaster Ahmed. What is the funniest compliment you have received?
Well, funniest compliment I've ever received, can't think on the spot, but well, the thing is, I've been told once, you speak English very well for an expat here. Well, in Bahrain, by a Bahraini. So, kind of hurt, but still, he meant it as a compliment, so I took it in stride. So that's about.
Perfect, perfect. So next up we have Mahmoud. Mahmoud, you want to go up? What is the funniest compliment you have received? You do look like a rapper right now, so please go ahead. Go ahead, Mahmoud.
Well, I had many compliments, but one of the compliments I came across from my friend when we were going out for dinner is like, apart from food, you're my favorite. Which I thought was music. So I really like that catchline. So we remember it every time we go out. So he just says it continuously.
All right, hold on to that person, Mahmoud. Anyone who treats you equivalent to food should really be there up there on your friends list. Next up, we have another guest from across the world. Sasi, what is the funniest compliment you have received?
Okay, this is when I was still a child. and we have a visitor, and I greeted her good morning. And then she told me, "Oh my God, you're so cute and adorable. You sound like a chipmunk." And and I was I don't know if I'm going to laugh or not, but thanks to puberty, my voice changed.
Enough. Thanks for that insight. And we have the second half of our of the Kurum Salman and Ali Saptain duo. Ali Saptain, would you like to say what is the funniest compliment you have received?
Thanks, Colin. Well, the thing is, you might be able to know about these things, and you get to know a lot of things. You get to hear a lot of things on which you come to say that, should I take it as a compliment or was that an insult? So normally I used to get on my eyes because when I take pictures, they're like, can you push your eyes back a little bit? Or sometimes they'll go and say, we want your picture, not your eyes. So that's what I'll say, a way of complimenting in a funny manner, perhaps. There are many other things, but that's in my language. I'm going to be able to translate it that better. Let's stick to my eyes.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Thank you, Ali, for that insight as well. So I think we've covered everyone here. And Rohan, please go ahead. Please go ahead, Rohan.
Thank you. Thank you. I wouldn't want to miss that out. So the funniest compliment I've received, like many of the others here, it's probably funny to the people who gave it than for us receiving. So somebody had come up to me during the first year of college. We had spoken quite a few times, and then they told me, "Man, your voice is so deep." And then I'm like, oh, I was going to say thank you, and then he followed up with, "It would be intimidating if you weren't this immature." Like, oh, all right, that's what you wanted to say. All right, I take it. And yeah, that was it.
Fair enough. Fair enough, Rohan. Not all of us can be Arnold Schwarzenegger, but we can have his voice as well. So, but kudos to you for sharing that insight as well. So, next up, we have in the fun and learn session. I want you to think long and hard on this because we'll end on a very positive note. All right. So, taking a deep breath and really think of a genuine compliment to the person on your right, on the virtual screen, on the right. Or if that is a little too difficult, we can go alphabetically. So we will go alphabetically. I think that would be better. So it starts with Ahmed. So the next person you would have to compliment with a genuine compliment is Ali. Ali would have to compliment Alan. Alan would have to compliment me. I would have to compliment Kurum, and so on and so forth. Does everyone get the drift? Genuine compliment? One given a thumbs up? Good.
I have a question. Sometimes you have different pictures. Sometimes I'm beside another person, but in your screen I am with another person. So I really don't know who to compliment.
Sure. So then in your case, Sasi, you can maybe say a compliment about our club. Maybe you'd like to visit again. Okay. Maybe you'd like to be another member, speak to the VPM of this club. His name's Colin. So that could be a compliment. we will go into that. You can use your creativity and imagination. All right. And if anyone has a doubt, you can always see the participant list and you can see who's the next one alphabetically. So without further ado, Ahmed, in 30 seconds, genuine compliment, no sugarcoating, no sprinkles to Ali Saptain. And go on. The floor is yours.
Okay. So knowing that he's a little under the weather today and he has a role as an accountant, I'd like to say for Toastmaster Ali, thank you for your hard work. It is much appreciated. Even when you're sick, you're still working. It's much appreciated. Appreciate you, man. Thank you very much.
Ali Saptain, maybe you want to give in a genuine compliment to Alan Paul.
Of course. First of all, thank you very much, Ahmed. That's so nice of you. And Alan, we have met a couple of times, and to me, feels like he's a person full of life. So Alan, stay that way. Life is short. enjoy as much as you can, be full of life.
Thank you, Ali.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Ali. Alan, you have the difficult job of complimenting me. So that's tough. So hope you can find something.
Oh,
Cute.
all right.
Thank you.
Me, right? Yeah, all right. First of all, Colin is very cute. It's quoted by Colin, to Colin. But I don't know if you're cute or not. I don't know. But brother to brother, I can't say that. But all I know is that you are very humorous. That is one thing I can say. I've never met you, but from our interactions in the previous meeting, I have noticed there's a personality about you. And that is a very funny personality. And I hope that one day when we meet, we can hang out and just chill. Because I like personalities like yours. Right? Back to you.
Perfect. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate that sincere compliment. I have the honor of actually complimenting Kurm Salman, and I could sugarcoat this in multiple ways because after I've joined Toastmasters, thanks to DTM Jahangir and DTM Kurm Salman, I could probably give him diabetes with a compliment. So, but I'm gonna make this short. I'm gonna make this simple. DTM Kurm Salman is one of those individuals. He's genuine. He's truly helpful. He's someone who is, when a person is down, he will genuinely help you and not make a big deal about it. People like DTM Kurm Salman are few and far between, and I wish him the best for his life. And over to you, Kurm Salman.
Thank you, Colin. Just to be sure, I'm complimenting Mahmood, right? Because I see two of me, and so I couldn't tell which one is the next in the alphabetical order.
You could compliment yourself, but it's also Mahmood. You have to compliment Mahmood.
Okay, brilliant. Well, first of all, thank you, Colin. That was extremely clean street. I wish you all the best with that. Thank you. And for Mahmood, your dedication and your commitment that you've brought and the energy that you brought into this club is inspiring. We're in all of that. Keep that up and you'll go many, many places. Thank you. And over to you, Mahmood.
So Toastmaster Colin, I just want to make sure that am I complimenting Toastmaster Mariam Haji? Because
yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're complimenting Mariam Haji. Yeah.
Okay. Toastmaster Mariam Haji, words can't describe how a great person you are. I know we haven't met like a lot, or like I think once we've met, but on the first time I met you, words can't describe it. Words can describe your courage, your actions, even if people don't like what you say, but you say it, that really shows that you care for a person. And that's something that I really admire in a person, something like you, and that I salute you.
Perfect, perfect. So we have Mariam Haji, who is going to give in a genuine compliment to Rohan Jose, who is no longer a guest.
To Rohan, yes. Thank you, Toastmaster Mahmood, for that wonderful compliment. Okay, Toastmaster Rohan, there is something about you, like your charisma, the way that you speak, the way that you carry yourself, that is very engaging and very enigmatic. And I think that that's a wonderful talent to have, to be able to kind of, you know, like steal the spotlight and rule a stage. And I think that it's really good that you came into Toastmasters. That shows that you understand yourself and you understand that that's something that you can improve on and make use of in your life. So that's something really wonderful.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you, Mariam, for that. And Rohan, you have the duty of giving in a compliment to Roya.
Yes.
Go
okay,
ahead.
Thank you very much for that, Colin and TM Mariam. My compliment to TM Roya, though we haven't met in person, is that you are the most hardworking person that I have come across in BEST, because I hear about you winning every meeting or every other meeting, that you're on the podium, that you're running the race, and during the meeting, there you are winning the speech titles as well. It just shows how much effort you put into day after day after day, and that is something that I have taken to heart and see that as something to improve upon. So yes, is my compliment.
Thank you, Rohan. Thank you, Rohan. Probably Roya is just on a race in between while you're complimenting. But go ahead, Roya. You have up next Sana to give in a genuine compliment about.
Okay, so before that, thank you, Rohan, for your compliment. Toastmaster Sana, we haven't met yet, but it's maybe I can say it's nice to meet you, and I wish thank you for joining Best. That's all.
Perfect. Roya is an individual who doesn't have too much sugar, so she's kept it short and sweet. Good. Sana, you have also the pleasure of joining our club for the first time. I know you've also had a joint meeting with our club, and owing to the fact that it's the first time, you could either compliment Sasi, or you could compliment the club, or you could give it something genuine feedback to the club. I know you'll do that in the general evaluation session as well, but maybe you can give one right now as well. Yeah.
All right. I'll just give a tiny feedback to the club as general. I'll just save most of it for my general evaluation. But I just like to say that I love the warmth and the vibe that you guys are going for in your club. It's really positive, and you can tell when a club is really supportive to its members, and the kind of vibe that you're going for is just like you're trying to help each and every member grow and enhance each other as a speaker, and you can see that in this club. So I really love that I picked up on this club. Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Sana. Thank you, Sana. You can always reach out to the VPM if you'd like to join the club as well. And next up, we have Sasi, who could do the same as well. You could talk about your experience. You could talk about the club, or you could talk about your experiences visiting different clubs globally. Sasi, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. And I would really love to compliment your club particularly, because this is my first time to, have a cultural exchange with Middle Eastern. And I really don't know about the culture that much, but I felt warm inside that I was accepted as part of your club as a Toastmaster, and I enjoyed listening to you speak. Even though one of you thought he looks like a terrorist, then I'd gladly blow up to you. I'm just kidding. I really enjoyed your your thinking. I really enjoyed your culture, especially the food. The food I have tried. Now, being with you guys opened up new ideas, and I would really love to come back here. And since I probably be the one evaluating a Toastmaster Suraya, did I pronounce the name well? I could be the one to evaluate you again to see what you have incorporated in your speech that I'm going to evaluate later. Again, my deepest and warmest thank you for letting me be a part of this club tonight.
All right. Thank you very much, Sasi. Thank you very much. Suhail, we just require you to give in a quick compliment, a genuine compliment to Dr. Thuraya, and Dr. Thuraya finally to give it in to Ahmed, and then we can round up.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Suhail.
Dr. Thuraya, the genuine compliment is she is a very kind and caring person. Whatever short interaction I had with her, it's lovely, and she's always lifting us up and encouraging us to take more roles and supporting us in all the way. Back to you, Colin.
Thank you. And thank you, Suhail and Dr. Thuraya. A genuine compliment for Ahmed.
Yes, dear Ahmed, we are really pleased to have you here in the club, watching you, observing, listening to you, John. I can see your commitment and dedication, and also the sense of humor you have. I would say work on that so that we can see you at a high level with the humorous speech contest next year. So work on that. Back to you.
Thank you, everyone. You've been a great crowd. You've made it a really fun and engaging session. I know you all had a blast. And right on time, 6:39. Hand over the floor to our general evaluator, or should I hand it over to our master of ceremonies? I'll hand it over to master of ceremonies to steer the ship over to the general evaluation session. It's been a pleasure. Over to you, Roya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Colin. Yes, definitely we had a blast. Again, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I would love to call upon our general evaluator, Toastmaster Sana Yusuf, once again to share with us her feedbacks, comments, and role players reports. Please welcome Toastmaster Sana.
Can I just interrupt Master Ceremonies? We can just take a half a minute to take a photo for the club, and I encourage all members to please switch your camera so that we can have a photo for all of you smiling. So I'm preparing my camera, so if you can, so my phone, so if you can smile. Let me close this. So Alan, are you going to open your camera as well? I will just wait for a few seconds. Toastmaster, okay, great.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So I will take two, one by using the computer and the other by using my phone. And if anyone would like to take a photo, please feel, Mahmoud is joining. That's great. So let me just wait for Mahmoud. We are taking a photo, so can you please switch your camera?
Oh, sorry, I was disconnected. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Yeah. So cheese, 1, 2, and 3. So do you want to do thumb up all of us? So 1, 2, 3. And final, let me just take a screenshot. So again, 1, 2, smile. And back to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Okay, so let's welcome again Toastmaster Sana.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roya. Now, the main reasons we have the evaluation portion of this meeting is to lift our members so that they come and speak again on the stage so that they can grow. So I will be breaking down this evaluation segment into 3 parts. First, I'll be calling upon our speech evaluators, and then we will have the report from our tag team, which is Timer, our counter, and Grammarian. And lastly, I'll be sharing my personal thoughts on the quality of this meeting. Now, this is a very extremely important.
Apologies if I may interrupt. If we can have just the timer report before the evaluation, so we can use that time as well when we're evaluating.
Yes, sure.
Thank
All
you.
right, I'll be sure to call upon that. As I was saying, this is a very important part of our meeting because this provides the speakers and everyone in this meeting an instant feedback from their fellow Toastmasters, because the purpose of evaluation is to give positive comments, but also making sure that there are improvements, suggestions, and improvements. Now, I'll be calling upon the first evaluator for our prepared speech. And before we do that, I want the timer, Toastmaster Ali. No, I'm sorry. Is it Toastmaster Ahmed?
Yes.
All right. Toastmaster Ahmed, could you be kind enough to explain the timing rules for evaluation?
Timing rules for evaluation. Well, the individual evaluation should be between 2 to 3 minutes. So at 2 minutes, I'll raise the green card, like so. And at 2.5 minutes, I'll raise the yellow card, like so. And by 3 minutes, I will raise the red card. So, and that's it from the timing criteria for the individual evaluations. And am I expected to for the speeches, or that's after? I think that's later.
No, just the report for the speeches, yeah.
For the speeches? Okay. All right. So for the speeches of today, DTM Thuraya took 7 minutes and 50 seconds. Toastmaster Mahmoud had 6 minutes and 16 seconds. And DTM Kharam had 6 minutes and 40 seconds. So I think only DTM Thuraya is disqualified for going overtime. And back to you.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Ahmed. And with this, I'd like to call upon our first evaluator. We have Toastmaster Sasi, who will be evaluating DTM Thuraya. Toastmaster Sasi, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, you can just show us a thumbs up and begin your evaluation.
I went window shopping today and I bought 4 windows. Distinguished Toastmaster Thuraya, yes, I have 4 windows, but none of them are like yours. And I really envy you. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, the reason I enjoyed Distinguished Toastmaster Thuraya's speech is because of the real stories she shared with us. A story that she experienced. She also started with an attention getter that really made me want to listen more. She asked a question. And at the end of her speech, she gave a powerful ending by giving a call to action. And finally, and even though you are in a Zoom conference, you were able to use or utilize your space very well. Every time you change your idea, you go to a certain place. And that made me feel that, not feel, but I am convinced that you are a real champion speaker. Distinguished Toastmaster Thuraya, now here's something where you can grow on. First, in your next speech, make sure you have a good headroom. I see your head already touching your head. I mean the border already touching your head. And you can do this by having a good proximity or distance between your device and yourself. And you can do that by probably purchasing a very nice stand, or you can DIY, you can do it yourself. It's not really that hard, so that you will have a better communication at a level with the audience. Now, second thing that I have observed is that I enjoyed your lovely smile in the end. And I believe this speech need more of your smile, because you have given us wonderful stories. And each time you talk about these lovely stories, with your smile, the stories will be enhanced. Remember, a smile is the best compliment you can give to your audience. And you will pass on what you have felt during those experiences to those who are listening. And finally, and the last, after your speech, you showed us wonderful pictures. And I love the pictures that you have taken. I believe that these pictures will enhance your speech more if you have incorporated them during your speech, because it will give me more vivid images about the types or species of birds that you have seen. And since I'm a cat lover and I have a cat myself, I would enjoy the picture of the smart and funny looking cat that knocks on your window all the time. With that, I would like to share with you to again remember to have a good headroom in your next speech. Also, smile more and include images in your speech. And also continue having your attention getter and powerful endings and sharing wonderful stories that audience can relate with and using the space properly. Distinguished Toastmasters Thuraya, I enjoy your speech so much. I want more of your stories. Good.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sasi. That was a very nice evaluation. Now let's move on to our next evaluator, who will be Toastmaster Mariam Haji, and she will be evaluating Toastmaster Mahmoud's speech. Toastmaster Mariam, are you ready?
Yes, am I audible?
Yeah, clear. Okay. All right, just show us a thumbs up and you can begin.
What a great time to be alive. The most important part of any speech or conversation you will ever have is the first sentence you say. And Toastmaster Mahmoud managed to start off his speech on a high note with that strong statement said very enthusiastically with a lot of energy. So he captured our attention from that very first sentence. Throughout the speech, he had a very good use of pauses. So after his statement, what a great time to be alive, he paused, therefore drawing the audience in, allowing us to think about every sentence and every statement that he delivered throughout his speech. What we noticed was he had better vocal control than he did in his previous attempt at the same speech. So his volume use specifically was much better. He would speak louder when he wanted to show energy. He would speak lower when he wanted to show sadness. So he did have quite a good play on volume and in vocal control specifically. A few points to consider improving on so that you can take your speech to the next level. Beginnings are not just the first sentence. Beginnings are how you look on the camera and how we see you through the camera. So positioning your camera on the ground and then looking down at us the whole time was kind of disconcerting, and you were far away, so we couldn't even see your facial expressions properly. Coming a bit closer to the camera, having it a bit eye level would help us view your speech much better. And we also come to appearances when it comes to clothing. Toastmasters is a formal club, so being dressed in the hoodie with, like, I think the McDonald's logo immediately kind of threw us off because you look so informal in such a formal setting. So beginnings are how you look and how you position your camera as well. Now let's move on to the speech itself. One thing to consider about the speech is the structure and organization. So every single part of your speech, every single sentence that you say in your speech has to serve a purpose, the purpose of your speech. Having different stories and then relating different events all kind of just thrown in there kind of confuses us, and we didn't get to know the exact purpose. Was the purpose just to be more kind? Was the purpose to leave a good legacy when you die with your kindness? It was kind of a bit confusing. So just have that clear structure. All in all, it was a wonderful speech, a great improvement to the first attempt, especially with the control of your volume and your vocal variety, good use of pauses, really strong sentence in the beginning. Might want to improve the position of the camera and to improve the way that you dress, and also to structure and organize your speech better. Wishing you the best of luck, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mariam. That was well constructed, and I'm sure your target speaker is going to find a lot of improvements. Now let's move on to our last, but definitely not the least, evaluator for today, DTM Allen, who will be evaluating DTM Khurram. Toastmaster Allen, DTM Allen, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, show us a thumbs up and you can begin.
Thank you. Be the leader you wish you had. Quoted by Simon Sinek, but put into action by the youngest district director in Toastmasters International. That is right. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear friends. Today, we heard a story from one of the founders of Best Toastmasters Club. And he had the perfect topic for the perfect time when we are looking for the future leaders of Best, of the future XCOM who can lead the club to the next level. So Toastmaster Khurram, distinguished Toastmaster Khurram, had the perfect topic for the perfect time, talking about his leadership styles, talking about how his parents were, talking about his enrollment in YLP, and talking about how he was in Toastmasters International, leading the District 20 to this medley distinguished status. Did you all observe how he had metaphors and similes to connect with each of us? How he had different quotes, how he talked about how high the ego high as Burj Khalifa, and also quoting from different aspects about leadership. Also, did you observe the way he implemented his speech, his body language? While he was doing a new topic, he went back and he started explaining today. And then he went on to explain different stages, moving from left to right to convey to us what the different transition points are. So perfectly implemented speech, distinguished Toastmaster Khurram, and it was sure to inspire many to follow in your footsteps. Now, being the exemplary leader you are, looking for excellence, striving for excellence, I hope you take these suggestions to take your speech to the next level. All right. So the first suggestion is, while I loved how you explain your leadership journey, I got to admit that we have all heard about your accomplishments. All right. Everybody knows about distinguished Toastmaster Khurram Salman. We all know about your achievements, about what you have accomplished. So the thing is, your club members already know you well, right? But for them to relate to you better, to follow in your footsteps, I felt you should have talked a little more about the struggles you had in your leadership journey so that they know about the tough times you went through and how you had mentors to support you, how you had guidance systems in place so that when they also face the situation, they can also reach out to them so that they're able to connect with you better. Second point, while you're using altruistic and all these words, they might be a little difficult. So I suggest to use simpler words to connect more with the audience. And third thing is, you implemented everything really well, but I wish you could have worked on your vocal variety at certain places. Like when you talk about how as high as Burj Khalifa, raise your voice. Or ego as simple, you lower your voice. You see, so if you can play with your vocal variety as a challenge, that would be great. So to summarize, perfect topic, loved how you use metaphors and similes and the perfect stage movements and gestures. Just work on explaining more about your struggles, using simpler words and working on your vocal variety. Because with these suggestions, you will not just be inspiring leaders, future leaders. These leaders will also be quoting you instead of Simon Sinek. With that, back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Allen. Now, with this, we come to the end of our prepared speech evaluation. I'd like the timer to let us know if all the evaluators have qualified for voting. Toastmaster Ahmed?
Madam General Evaluator, only one evaluator has been disqualified for going over time. Toastmaster Sassi has gone 4 minutes. The rest are all on time. Toastmaster Mariam, 3 minutes, 2 seconds, and Toastmaster DTM Alan, 3 minutes, 28 seconds.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Ahmed. Now let's move on to the report from our counter, who is Toastmaster Ali. Can you please give us our ahs and ums for today?
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. Well, I was very happy almost for the first part of the meeting when I said, guys, please go easy on me, and it was going easy on me until comes the fun and learn session. So I have quite a filled up report. Allow me to start from the names, starting with Toastmaster Mariam, 3 ahs and 1 Toastmaster Sassy, 2 pause and 3 ums. Dr. Thuraya, 1 ah, 1 pause. Roya with 1 ah. Suhail with 1 ah and 1 you know. Ahmed with 2 ahs and 1 unnecessary filler. Sana, 1 Mahmoud, 1 pause. Alan, 4 ahs. Rohan, 1 Colin, 2 ahs. And that's basically it from my side. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, our counter. And lastly, let's hear from our grammarian for today, Toastmaster Suhail. What do you have for us?
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. There was no improper language usage in the today's meeting. The word of the day was used, please pardon me, I was able to hear it only once, which was used by DTM Khurram. There was a list of phrases and codes, very nice codes used during the meeting. like DTM Thuraya, do not hesitate to do small thing. It will come back to you. DTM Mahmood, words can't express my feeling for you. I salute you. A woman with 1,000 words, DTM Khurram, either we lead or we lead. Innovation set us apart. Be the leader you wish you have. DTM Sasi, criticism is the breakfast of the speaker. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Grammarian. Now with this, we come to the end of the reports from a tag team, and that means, I know, are you ready? That means my personal report. And for that, I just want the host. Sorry?
Yeah, if I may interrupt, can we have just I will launch the polling for voting, if you don't mind?
No, that's fine, yes.
And
All
just
right,
I would like to pay the attention of the members that for table topics, I did not manage to put the names. So if you can write the name, I will write the names in the chat. So speaker number 1 is Colin. Speaker number 2 is Mariam. Speaker number 3 was DTM SAS, and 4 was Toastmaster Mahmoud. So we did not have 5 speakers for table topics. So please vote for 1 Colin, Mariam, and DTM SAS, and Toastmaster Mahmoud. Of course, for the speakers, I am out because I was overtime, and our guest evaluator as well is out. So I will launch the polling now, and please vote before you leave. Do you see the polling? Because I cannot see people. Yeah, okay, just now we have, yeah, started. So we'll give one more minute.
No, we don't see the poll. Does everybody see the poll?
Okay, I thought people were seeing it, but I wasn't. No, I don't see it.
Neither am I, actually.
I can see it.
Yeah, because some people are voting already. I had some votes.
And can you stop and relaunch it, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, according to me, we have eight out of 13 which actually voted.
That's it. That's majority anyway, so that's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I will end the polling now, and back to you, General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priya. Also, I'd like you to grant me the permission to share my screen.
Yes.
I'm not able to right now.
Yeah, just give me a second and I will give you the role as a co-host, then you will be able to...
No problem, no problem.
Yeah. So you are... Yeah, so now you are a co-host, so please go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna try. Yes. So here is me with my general evaluation. Are you all ready for this? Okay, so let's talk about Best Toastmaster Club. Let's start over with the basics. Did the meeting start on time? Yes, I joined exactly at 5 o'clock Kuwait time, and that's when everyone had joined and already started interacting. The networking was continuing. Guests were introduced. I and my fellow other guests were introduced very thoroughly. We felt welcome. And role players introduced their roles thoroughly. For anyone who was new to Toastmasters, I'm sure they could have found their way around easily because the role players introduced very well. Toastmaster protocol was followed. There were, I think if there was a change in the agenda that was made sure of, that was taken care of. Let's talk about the amazing Toastmaster of the day, our MC Roya, who brought to us a really nice theme of compliments. It was really interesting, engaging. You interacted with all the role players and the speakers, you introduced them, and also you gave tiny compliments when they left the virtual stage. And you made sure that the meeting transitions from one segment to another very thoroughly. So I like that really a lot. Toastmaster of the day, we had Rohan as our table topics master. And I liked that you weaved your questions into the theme of today, and that you encouraged volunteers to participate a lot. And since the time you had been allotted was limited, you made maximum use of it. So that was amazing. Role players, like I said, they introduced their roles amazingly well and 100% engagement. Now let's talk about the two most amazing things that I noticed about this club that was like really standing out for me. The first thing I noticed that was new to me is that Best Toastmaster Club has a fun and interactive round, which was a really new thing for me. And not only was it fun and interactive, it was a way for everyone to know each other. I came to know so much about all of you by just hearing the compliments that one gave to another. And as usual, it was relating to the theme. So I thought that was a really nice way to bring about the theme again and again. And like I said before, it's your vibe. It's the aura that you guys give out when conducting your meetings. Everyone is natural. I did not feel like I'm a foreign person in a new club. I did not feel like a guest at all. I felt really welcome and kind of like a part of this club. So I really liked that about you guys, that you integrate all your guests as a member in your meetings. Some things that I would love to see in this meeting is, I noticed that you guys hold your business sessions at the start of your meeting. Now, for me as a guest, I felt a bit left out because that was strictly concerning your members. So what I would suggest is for you to just hold that segment to the end of your meeting, maybe after the general evaluation, maybe after, or just before you adjourn the meeting, you could hold your business session, and you could allow the guests to leave. That way, the guests would be present for majority of what they want to be present for. The next thing would be time management. I felt at the start of the meeting, we were losing a bit of time as per the agenda, especially because the speakers segment did not start until maybe 15 minutes later, but I'm glad we caught up on that time and we managed to do everything that was as per the agenda. So that was great. And the last thing I'd like to talk about is virtual presence. Now, the thing I noticed about everyone in this club is that most of them have a photo on. So even when you keep your videos off, there is a picture of you, which is a clever way to kind of, give the vibe that, okay, you guys have someone. But I would still encourage you guys to just keep your videos on. So it would encourage the speakers and give the speakers a live audience to give their speech to. Other than that, you guys were amazing. I really loved attending this meeting, and please send me the link because I'd love to join as a guest again. And I think your overall grade would be a gold star, an A star for being the best club. So yeah, that's it from me. And I would like to hand back to the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you. Toastmaster Roya, you're muted.
I'm sorry. Thank you very much, General Evaluator, for your stunning feedbacks, and we will make sure to keep your comments into consideration for our future meetings. My fellow guest Toastmasters, this concludes the today meeting of BEST. My job comes to an end, but before that, remember, keep up the great work. Stick with what you are doing. And remember, if the compliments aren't flowing on your own way, make your own compliments. Farewell, and I give the control back to Madam President.
Amazing job to Toastmaster Raia. Thank you for a wonderful, wonderful meeting. and just for carrying us through. That was really great. Just to keep up with our schedule and with the time, let us move on to announcing our winners. DTM Soraya, are you ready with the certificates for the winners? DTM Soraya?
Yeah, yes, Madam President, I am sending you the names. If you can check your mobile, and I will be sharing the certificate on the screen. So just give me 1 second to type the last one.
Okay. Meanwhile, while we get all of that ready, would any of our guests like to say anything? Okay, I think Seth is trying to say something. Yes, hi. You can go ahead.
Okay, hi. Yeah, I just want to thank you again for allowing me to be part of this meeting. And I really enjoyed your company. I learned a lot. I enjoyed the speeches. And I am truly honored to be here tonight. And for Thoraya, yes, you can still make me your evaluator for the repeat of your speech, or you can find another evaluator. Just give my evaluation to that evaluator.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sasi, for those kind and wonderful words. Dr. Thoraya, the certificates are ready. I can start announcing. All right. Let us move on to announcing our winners of today's meeting. We will start off with Best Table Topic Speaker. And just waiting for the screen to be shared. There we go. And our best table topics is Toastmaster Colin Lobo. Amazing job. That was really great. Moving on to our best evaluator, which is me. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Best role player of the day goes to Roya Adel. You did an amazing job, Ra'ya. You carried our meeting really well. And lastly, our best speaker goes to DTM Kharam Selman. Wonderful job to every single role player, every single guest, every single person in this room. You all did an amazing job. It was a very fun and enjoyable meeting. I hope that you all felt that as well and saw how wonderful and great it was. Our next meeting is going to be on June 12th, inshallah. So that's in 2 weeks. And I'm sure that the VPE and everyone will have prepared something really wonderful for us then.
I think our president has stopped, right?
Yes.
Yes. Sorry again. Yeah.
It's like we're watching Frozen 3.
In that case, may I ask Toastmaster Alan if you would like to share anything with us as he is joining us today before you go while we are waiting for Madam President?
Okay, I think Madam
There she
President
goes.
is back.
I'm back? Okay. It hates me apparently when I do president stuff because it was fine in evaluation, it was fine in table topics. Anyway, I was saying that our next meeting is going to be on June 12th, inshallah. It would be really great to see all of our guests joining us again then. Thank you to all the role players. Thank you to all the guests. I hope everybody had a great time. And I hereby adjourn meeting 167.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone. Thank you to all our guests who joined us today. Thank you and see you next time. Stay safe and take care.
Bye.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
doctor. Take care, everybody. Stay safe.